Hi, Igor.
What's up, Zach? How you doing, man?
What you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Doing great. Doing good, my brother. Getting recording some new Black Label stuff later today.
Oh, that's good to
So
know.
yeah, as soon as I get done talking with you. So yeah, that's about it, buddy.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for your time, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
No problem. Well, so let's talk about this upcoming tour. What are your expectations for return to Brazil, this time with Zakk Sabbath and playing at a festival in four cities?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be great. Well, I mean, Father Joe's gonna be down there, Father Eric, Father Kiko. I mean, I'm friends with all the guys, so I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be great. And last time we were down there when we played the festival, we had a great time. It was awesome.
Absolutely.
Allman Brothers. Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun, man. But hopefully we'll get a chance to see some of the fellas play and just catch up with them because it's always great seeing your friends. So it'll be a good time.
Absolutely. Well, and when I first saw the lineup, I wondered if it wasn't extreme to go from Joe Bonamassa to Zakk Sabbath. Then I remembered you guys played an incredible version of Crossroads Live in 2015, I guess. What can you say about Joe and his music?
Joe's awesome. How could you not love Joe? Joe's awesome. He can, Joe can crush it on the guitar. He's crushing on the vocals. He crushes on laundry, dishes, taxes. He'll do it. He can do it all. Joe's Joe's great, and he's a sweetheart, and he's good people. So he's great, man. So and the same thing goes with Eric. Father Eric is amazing, great vocals and great playing, and Kigo, forget about it. He's out of control too. He's super amazing. So yeah, I mean all the guys are incredibly talented, and they all have their own voice, and they have their own thing, man. So like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing all the guys.
That's incredible. And just to make sure you're going to play these concerts with Blasco and Joey, am I right?
No, down on this one, I think it's going to be me, JD, and Father Joe again. That's who went
Oh,
out on the last. Yeah.
that's amazing too. And what can you say about each of the guys in the band?
Oh, about JD and Joe.
Yeah.
I can't stand either one of them. I don't like either one of them. And but it's actually kind of. I mean, just being up on stage for an hour and a half with these guys is probably the most painful hour and a half of the whole day I have to exist with. But aside of that, we just do it because we love Black Sabbath, and plus it's just JD makes he lives near a place near Joe and Pat's Pizza in Staten Island, and there's another place now called Tony's, and they have great pizzas. That's the only reason why I hang out with JD now. But aside of that, you know, and Joe, because me and Barbara Ann are the godparents of his children. But aside of that, we can't stand each other.
Well, oh man,
Yeah,
I wasn't
no, I
expecting
guess yeah,
that.
exactly. It's just because I guess that is truly is because of the love of the music. But no, I love the guys. It's always great. And we just had we just went out and did that last run. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, we're looking forward to us going down there to do Zakk Sabbath. It'll be great.
Yeah, and what can you tell us about the set list? Will it be entirely dedicated to Black Sabbath, or will you play some songs from other projects as well?
No, no, no. It's just going to be straight up Zakk Sabbath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean it's great, but all the work's already done for us. All the classic songs are already written.
Kind of
I
easy.
don't have to write any lyrics. I don't have to write any riffs. Everything's it's all been the work's already been done for. All we got to do is present the meal.
And
No cooking involved. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely. And I know that maybe it's still early to discuss this, but do you already know how will the songs be chosen? Are you going to focus on two or three specific Black Sabbath albums like you did in Doomed Forever, Forever Doomed album?
No, I mean, well, that's just because that's a succession of the records. Because we did the first album and then we did the next two. You know, between Paranoid and Master Reality. So no, we're still doing. I think on the last set we did Symptom of the Universe. Last run we were out. We're probably going to do that one again too. So yeah, and we do Supernaut, Snowblind. There's a whole bunch of them in there. So you know that obviously we're just up to the first three records as far as recording them for fun. But I mean, no, we cover everything.
Yes. And as I mentioned before, you recently released the Forever Doomed Forever, Forever Doomed album. How fun was recording this album?
Oh, it's a blast. I mean, it's just like you know, I mean, it just really goes to show you how timeless the music is. And every time when we're up there playing it, it's, you know, because we always talk about, you know, like with Sabbath, it's not so much, you know, when you think about singles of, you know, pop singles or singles you hear on the radio, or when you hear like if me and you were listening to a band we signed or whatever, you know, whether you listen to Guns N' Roses and we hear Sweet Child of Mine, you're like, Zakk, this could probably be a single, you know what I mean? Or November Rain or something like that. You know, anything you hear, like Aerosmith, you hear Dream On, you go, this would probably be a good single, you know, because it just kind of jumps out at you. But like with Black Sabbath, it's just, it really goes to show you it's just great music. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yes.
they could do a whole song and then you would go, by the end of the song, you're like, what was the name of that song? Because there's not like, you know, I want to hold your hand, you know, like a Beatles, I want to hold your hand, where you go, pretty much by the time the song's done, you're like, Zakk, what's the name of that song? You go, it's the Beatles. It's called I Want to Hold Your Hand. You know, because they say the chorus enough times. So where Sabbath, it's just kind of, you know, there is no, you know, in regard of classic single formats of, you know, where you have the verse, the pre-chorus, then the big chorus, and then you know, then it repeats again, and then there's another big chorus, and then at the end of the song, you know the name of the song. Where Sabbath is just amazing riffs, amazing melodies that Ozzy puts on these things, and then Geezer's amazing lyrics, and then obviously the performances by Bill, Geezer, Tony, and Ozzy. It really, I mean, it really is a testament to how amazing their songwriting is. But I always say that every time we do the shows, and I mean, you know, ever since I first heard Sabbath when I was like 11 years old, and here I am, 57 years old, and I have just as much joy playing this and playing it as I did when I was 16, 17 years old, playing in my friends' basements and keg parties and everything like that. You know, so it really is a testament to their songwriting.
Absolutely. And you guys reproduce the songs faithfully, but you also managed to put your own identity, especially in the solos. What was there a song that made you especially proud of the result after you listened to your recording this album?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just I think uh no, I like I said, I think all of them, you know, I was just listening to some of it the other day, you know, because I haven't heard it since obviously after we recorded and mastered it and everything like that. I was just listening to some of it and I was just like, wow, this came out really good. I was really happy with the way that, you know, that, and obviously working with Adam, you know, the mixes and the mastering on it and everything like that. Everybody, Peter that mastered it, everybody did a great job. And obviously Joey and Blasco crushed it. So, but no, I think I was just listening to some of the, I mean, just the whole thing came out really, I think came out really cool. But no, I'm really happy with the whole thing. But it's just, uh, yeah, I it's not like a specific favorite thing, but I mean, like I said, live, I love playing them all too. Whether it's Fairies Wear Boots or Into the Void, Snowblind, Supernaught. I mean, Symptom of the Universe, and I mean, I love the whole thing, man.
Absolutely.
I
And
mean, you know,
mhm.
JD says he likes the sound of hearing me whenever I play. He likes the sound before he puts the needle on, and finally when the thing's over. So, yeah. And I go, then that means you didn't hear any of it. He goes, exactly.
Oh man, you are on fire today.
he's he's such an unnicer. He's so unnice to me.
Oh my
Oh, my
God.
feelings are always hurt.
Well, and you have been singing on your albums for a long time, and you have been singing these songs at Zakk Sabbath concerts for a long time as well. That's nothing new. But in the other hand, some songs recorded on this album were played by you alongside Ozzy, many times only on guitar without singing. Did you have any strange feelings about singing these songs in studio, especially the ones that you used to perform live with us?
No, not at all. I mean, but I mean, it's kind of funny, because people would always ask, they go, how's that? Because, I mean, you know, us being in a cover band, like if we were in a wedding band, JD, because he has a baritone voice, would do if we were playing Doors songs, JD can do Jim Morrison really well. And Lou Rawls as well. So he could do You'll Never Find Another Love Like Mine. He could do Lou Rawls. And then obviously, because I could sing I could do Ozzy. I could do my Ozzy voice. So I'll do the Black Sabbath songs. And then, like, if another one of our buddies had a higher voice, he's just like, oh, let Frank do the Led Zeppelin stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just, because people always ask, how'd you end up doing the Sabbathy things? It's just like, no, I could do my Ozzy imitation and everything like that. But no, I mean, but it is funny because, like, Ozzy, somebody asked me, oh, do you do the Ozzy? He really is probably one of him and Greg Allman are pretty much my favorite singers, you know what I mean, of all time, for sure. But, but it's just, yeah. So, but that's how we ended up. Because back in the day, even, before I started playing with Oz, when we did our cover songs, I would end up singing the Sabbath things. So, and then our other friends would sing other songs just because whether their range could hit it, or they sounded more like that. You know what I mean? Whatever specific singer, you know.
Yeah. And now I have a tough question to ask. Among Black Sabbath albums, which is your favorite album and why?
Um,
That's
I
hard.
love them all, but I mean, obviously, if you're a fan of any band or any artist, whether it's Elton John or Sabbath or anybody, because obviously certain albums you have memories connected to those records. You know what I mean? Where it just brings you. That's a beautiful thing about music, how powerful it is. Where it could just transport you back in time when you were 14 years old. You remember listening to it at your grandmother's house or something. But no, I mean, I know Ozzy doesn't rate this album, but I think Sabotage is one of their best. One of the best. I mean, Ozzy's vocal performance on that thing, I put up against any one of his peers of all time. As far as a rock performance, hands down, that album, his vocal performance on that, how gritty it is, and him belting it out, and how bluesy it is, it's like, forget about it. It's lights out. And then I would always ask guys, I go, Oz, when you were doing Sabotage, I mean, what are you sound like Pavarotti on that one. What were you taking your Wheaties and your vitamins and taking vocal lessons? He goes, no, Zakk, just lots of drugs and booze. I go, oh, that is the breakfast of champions. Oh
That's
boy.
incredible, man. I
He's the best, man.
absolutely, and I love Sabotage album just with Volume 4. They're my favorites.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I love them all. I still love Never Say Die, and Technical Ecstasy are cool too. But even though those are the Dark Horse records, uh, I still love those as well, because I just have so many awesome memories attached to all those records, when I was a kid and everything like that. So But yeah, Sabotage, forget about it. I mean, as far as Ozzy's concerned, it ended for him at Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. You know, he says, as far as the classic Sabbath art run, Ozzy would just go, that was it for me. I'm like, wow, I can't believe he doesn't put Sabotage in there. But yeah, I'd say Sabotage right now. And I
Yeah.
love Volume 4 too. The guitar tone on that is crazy.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't like Sabotage that much because the band was having some problems internally with managing it and stuff like that. Maybe he doesn't have good memories regarding to Sabotage.
I think it might be, because maybe he doesn't have that kimono anymore that he wore on the cover. He said, "What did I do with my kimono? What did I do with it?"
And what about Bill Ward, huh?
And Bill Ward too. I think Ozzy brought the kimono to a dry cleaner and they stole it. And he's never gotten over it. He's still bitter about it.
Oh my God! Since we're talking about Ozzy, have you been in contact with him lately?
Yeah, I still send Oz goofy texts and things like that, and then and he'll send goofy stuff to me. So but yeah, Oz is still working on his neck and doing his therapy and everything like that. And then he just recorded that song, that kick-ass song with Billy, and he's singing great on that. So yeah, he's doing great, man. And they have the podcast now and everything, which is hilarious. But
Yes.
yeah, totally, man. But I mean, how could it not be? Everything he does is hilarious, man. But it's so funny, man. But yeah, I still keep in touch with Oz all the time.
Yeah, it's good to know that he's feeling well. His head is well. He has a body problem, but he's doing a lot of interviews. He's recording a podcast. He's recording music. It's great, man.
Yeah,
As a fan, that's what I want to listen.
Yeah, totally, man. Well, hopefully, yeah, Oz will be ready to go eventually down. As I told him, I said, Oz, just when you're ready to go, then we go. Round up the troops and off we go.
Yes, and you guys even worked together recently on the Patient Number 9 album. I know it's been a while, but how was this experience of recording with him again, I guess, for the first time in 15 years?
No, it was great. All my parts I recorded up here. Nowadays, it's not like back going to the studio and we'd all be there recording house, and then you could record California, or if I'm in New York or whatever, wherever I'm at, it doesn't matter. And then I'll just send it back to you, and you'll go, yeah, Zakk, or can you change this or that or whatever? And it's like, yeah, no problem. But I mean, Andrew Watt came up here. Father Andrew was here, and Andrew's great. And yeah, we had a lot of laughs and everything like that, as always, and then and I did all my fiddly diddly stuff, and that was it.
Yes, and you have also traveled the world playing with Pantera. I was able to see one of the concerts in Brazil with Judas Priest here in São Paulo. What has it been like for you to play these shows and to honor Dimebag and Vinnie Paul?
It's a beautiful thing, man. Every night, just seeing how, this amazing, awesome thing that they created, the four of them. And, as I say it every night, it's like, Dime, Vinny, look at what you guys created, man. You know what I mean? It's just, everybody's here to hear them, to hear Phil, Rex, Dime, and Vinny. You know what I mean? And so, for me and Charlie to be part of it and to honor our brothers and, our buddies, man. And just, but just to see how much joy, the music that they wrote brings people. That's what it's all about, man. And just seeing how happy people are, and and for the Pantera faithful, for them to take a walk down memory lane, to say, man, I saw them when they were in clubs, or I saw them when there was like 10 people in a club or whatever, you know what I mean? To now, and then you know, and then all the young kids that it's the first time ever hearing these songs live. So no, it's to me it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And Charlie Benante recently gave an interview saying that Pantera could release a live album with this lineup, that it's under discussion. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, I mean, whatever the fellas want to do, we knock it out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, as far as you know, let's be real, it's a live album every night. You know, people with their phones and everything are recording it anyway, so it doesn't, you know, to me. So you know, you go up there and you play to win every night.
Yes. And what about new songs? Has there been any talks about this lineup recording new songs in the studio, whether writing the songs or recording old demos, maybe?
No, I mean, not that we haven't sat and talked about like, oh guys, let's get together and write songs or where. No, there hasn't been anything like that. You know, I mean, the only discussions we'll have is just like what other new songs we want to put in the set list. You know, like when we put Floods in, and then we got together in rehearsals. You know, got together over at Phil's house and we just rehearsed everything. You know, but no, nothing like we haven't been sitting around writing riffs and things like that. No.
Yes. And as much as the fans are loving, of course, they also don't know for sure if it's Pantera, it's a tribute. You said in the interview that obviously it's not Pantera. Charlie said the same thing, but Rex gave an interview weeks ago to the Australian Rolling Stone saying this is not a tribute. It's hard to put a label on things, of course, but how do you define this band? Is it Pantera? Is it a tribute?
Well, yeah, I mean that's what I feel it is. You know, I mean it's not even a tribute. It's more just a Pantera celebration. You know what I mean? Like whenever we go out and do the Experience Hendrix, which I always have a blast when I do that. It's just, you know, it's all of us going out and celebrating Jimmy's greatness. So that's what I mean. To me, this is what this Pantera celebration. It's we're celebrating all the, you know, the mountains that Pantera conquered. So that's what this is.
Yes, and it's beautiful, by the way, especially because when you play the songs, it's Zakk Wylde playing Dimebag. You're not trying to be Dimebag. That's amazing. That's what I felt when I saw you guys here in São Paulo.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if Dime was up there playing the solo to No More Tears or Mama, I'm Coming Home, it's going to sound like Dime playing the solo to No More Tears. It just because he has his touch and his feels. Like when Randy Rhoads was playing Black Sabbath songs, it sounds like Randy Rhoads playing Black Sabbath songs. You know what I mean?
I think I think you're off.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I think you had some internet issues right now. I think it's getting back. Sorry, man.
yeah, you're back. Go ahead. There we go.
Yes, you're back. I
That's
guess
all
you're
right,
back.
man. Just as long as it doesn't happen while we're up on the moon.
Oh man. As you were saying, sorry, because I missed part of your answer. You were saying that if even if Dime played No More Tears, it's still Dime. So of course it would happen to you playing Pantera songs.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, I was just saying, even when you listen to the tribute album, when St. Rhodes is playing Iron Man and he's playing Paranoid and everything, it's and Children of the Grave, it sounds like Randy playing Black Sabbath songs. You know what I mean? It's Randy's guitar tone and Randy's touch and Randy's playing. You know, so but that's what makes it cool. Yeah, I mean, so you know, I yeah, I mean, to me, that's just it's just common sense. I mean, Dime's gonna sound like Dime no matter what he's playing.
Yes. And you started this interview saying that you were recording new songs with Black Label Society. What can you tell us about this?
Um, well, you know, the songs are always written with dancing and dance steps in mind. So otherwise, I don't even have a song. I mean, it's just like if I can't dance to it, then we scrap it. we don't even bother starting. It's a combination. If I can't dance to it or do hot yoga, forget about it. It's out.
Yes. And what is the progress? Have you recorded 2 songs, 3 songs, only 1 song, 5 songs? What is the progress in these new recordings?
I think we're probably about maybe, I don't know, 15, 18 songs in, something like that. Maybe even more. But, you know, so then the guys will be coming out, JD and Jeffy, and tracking some more drums and bass and stuff like that. Probably in about next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. Do you have an expectation of releasing these songs maybe next year?
Yeah, probably 2025, somewhere around there.
Yeah. And you are always in Brazil with Black Label Society. I just love that because many artists don't come to Brazil so often, but Black Label Society did a lot of tours here in Brazil. You do have a special relationship with Brazil, especially going so much with Black Label Society here. How do you feel about this bond between Brazil and Black Label Society nowadays?
No, it's amazing. You know, I mean, when we look at all the chapters down there and all the gatherings and you know, it's just one gigantic community. It's a beautiful thing, man. So yeah, it's bigger than a band. I mean, it really is a whole community.
Yeah, for sure. And for my last question, because I have to wrap it up, what other work plans do you have for this year, perhaps next year? In addition to the shows in Brazil, I know you have a lot of concerts with Pantera. You mentioned the Black Label Society songs, but are you already working on anything else right now or for next months or years?
No. We'll be, you know, I mean, obviously one thing at a time, you know, so we're working on a new record, and I guess, you know, we have more Pantera dates coming up, and, you know, yeah, there's definitely a lot going on, that's for sure. And then I think we're doing Hendrix again, to go out with the gang on that one. So I'm looking forward to that because that's always a great time. But you know, right now, probably after I get done talking with you, we're gonna go up to the Vatican and start tracking some more